miserably. Like, I feel like this is the obvious, but you should never just start pulling levers if you don't know what they do. I mean, if there's one thing the Saw franchise has taught us is that if a death trap ever involves a doohickey, you should try to figure out how it works first before you end up making things even worse, kind of like Lauren did here. The best strategy was to just go caveman style and start attacking the machine itself. Between the fire axe and those metal pipes in the corner, he could have easily damaged it or jammed it up enough to save Austin's life. And also, I've got to give Josh some credit for taking the first swing, but after seeing that Fun Size wasn't really affected by regular attacks, we have to switch it up and get creative. If Fun Size is really made of candy, then he'll melt if exposed to high temps. So I'd tried knocking him over into like a furnace or something, covering him with molten caramel, or even just finding some flammable liquid to make a good old Molotov cocktail. But of course, the best strategy is always just to get the way, and if Josh hadn't been so busy reciting his entire wedding vows, both of them could have easily had time to escape. The next story finds us at a family video store, where the owner Tim runs a service called Pinprints. It's meant to help in case they ever go missing. Right now, business is booming because it's Halloween night and they've had 8 disappearances in the last few weeks. After finishing up with his last customers, Tim heads home early to spend the night with 2 daughters. He used up his accent a little on edge, but finishing recording everything just in case he happens to catch something on tape. When he gets home, he finds his wife and daughters sleeping comfortably in the bed. Despite everything that happened, he's determined to give the girls a normal talk. Brings them into town for some safe protection, supervised by the local police. Now, while they're playing with the neighbors in the car, he learns about another girl from town who just went missing. Eventually, talking to a girl on the edge of the field. But assuming that it's probably just a dad and his daughter, he decides not to push the alarm. It's not long before one of the officers leaves him over and mentions the teenager who just went missing. Her parents said that the girl had one of his kid prints, so he volunteers to go back and grab the tape right away. It's just after dark when he gets to the shop, and he's only slightly annoyed to see that somebody's TV the place up. Inside, he notices the sound of a TV coming from somewhere in the back, but as he gets closer, he realizes that it's actually multiple different voices screaming all at once. He finds 4 different monitors playing tapes of terrified victims from all over town, and he's horrified to watch as the man leans down and peels the skin off the soldier's face. This is when he hears a girl's voice shouting at somebody to stop, and as he listens in a little closer, he realizes it's coming from inside the store. Alright, now I'm thinking Tim might want to double check that he didn't accidentally hire the demon from Sinister. You guys have seen that one, right? But look, the cops in this town must be spending way too much time at the donut shop because a total of 8 victims in the last 2 weeks. And this place is basically the small town version of the city. In the 90s, when this part of the story takes place, there were only about 100 true confirmations a year, and that's across the entire USA. So in a single small town, even 3 or 4 abductions over a short period of time would trigger a massive response. I mean, the local police would probably start by looking for like any similarities between cases, searching with canine units and going door to door, canvassing the neighborhoods. But once they were overwhelmed, they'd probably call up the county sheriff or state bureau of investigation and ask them to send in some more experienced detectives. I mean, even the FBI would get involved if there's an indication that they're dealing with a serial killer, which, yeah, it's kind of looking like that might be the case. And since they expect them to strike on Halloween, one of the best things they could do is send out teams of undercover officers dressed as trick-or-treaters to mix in with the crowd. That way, they could either lure him into a trap or make sure he's too afraid to strike that night. But either way, it's a win-win. In the meantime, I guess it's up to Tim to keep his family safe. So choosing to do their trick-or-treating with the police supervision was before going out that night. Good time to serious talk with his girls about the realities of strangers and now it looks like he's about to cut this week. Taking off his shoes so you can move quieter, Tim turns off the lights on the camera and starts creeping towards the source of the noise. And that really is not to find the missing girl, begging someone to let him know, but it's afraid that he's seen his family. He's spoken with seems to be the kidnapper as well, and decided one of them to scream before he can get closer. Caught off guard, he looks over to see Bruce coming towards him, wearing someone else's face like a mask. Before he can get away, the man closes the distance and takes him down. While Tim's busy getting a beat down, the footage starts cutting back and forth between the other tapes of Bruce's victims, including a guy named Drew, who Bruce lured into the shop just a little while earlier. It shows Drew trying to find out, but Bruce quickly overpowers him and drags him off to the back of the store where he starts brutally peeling off the guy's skin, making sure that he can't die. Bruce peels off his face and head, thinking that he's one of the kidnappers. Leaning over him, Drew starts screaming at the top of his lungs as he takes what's left of his face and starts trying to put it on. A moment later, Bruce walks in and throws the girl Olivia down on the floor, but she's still convinced that Tim is actually in on it, and taking the pocket knife off of his belt, she starts stabbing him over and over again, while Drew beats him with the hammer until he's finally dead. Picking themselves up, they head for the hallway and start trying to sneak back out of the door, but they don't make it very far before Bruce catches up and Weaver kills them both. Over the following weeks, Bruce manages to blame Tim for the whole thing and decides to take over the video store so he can help keep the community safe. Of course, we're the only ones who knows what he really means, but that metaphor takes down the Tim really needs to start doing better background checks on his employees. It looks like the new video shop is under development, and kids in this town will have to live in fear until Netflix puts this guy out of business. But the worst part is, Tim could have totally stopped him with just a slightly better strategy. Now, first off, props for ditching the shoes for an extra stealth boost. But that's where things started to fall apart because after seeing the videos and hearing the scream from inside the store, Tim was fully aware that his life could be threatened. And although it's not the most heroic way to think, he didn't really have any legal obligation to physically intervene. With a wife and kids at home, personal safety, I would say it comes first. So instead of this straightforward sound, it would have been far better to sneak back to the sales floor and use the phone to call a flag. This is exactly what the police would have wanted you to do because it's a lot better than dealing with two victims and a suspect who's still on the loose. So given that he was alone and had no idea what he was getting into, Tim's smartest decision was to call for backup first. But if he insisted on getting involved, then stealth was his way to avoid. So instead of stumbling straight into the middle of the crime scene, he should have kept quiet, assessed the situation from a distance, and waited for a chance to use his camera to knock old Bruce out. In the end, he tried to do the right thing, but ended up getting team killed by a guy with a fake. That's why it's always a bad idea to play the hero. The final tape starts with some old footage of a Halloween enthusiast named Pete and his son Zach setting up their annual haunted house. They've been putting on the show every year since Zach was little, but now that he's all grown up, he's kind of starting to lose the Halloween spirit. With some help from his wife Nancy, after looking around, he sees the employees only area in the back of the store where he finds an old vinyl record. Looks like the perfect soundtrack for the big event, so he pops it into his bag and decides to play it. He shows his son the record and flips it over to read the speaking warning in the back. He's all jazzed up to start the show, but Zach is still making it obvious that he couldn't care less. Now it's officially time for the first tour, and while Zach's filming every second for his ad, he's surprised to find his crush Ashley waiting in line. Following the host inside, they find themselves in a dimly lit room with an old record player on the table. And as Pete starts the show, his wife places the record on the turntable and starts it up. At first, it doesn't sound very spooky at all, but everything changes as the lights start to flicker, and the tape keeps spinning faster and faster. Playing into it, Pete keeps giving his speech, but as he reaches the end, objects start flying off the walls, and the record player suddenly bursts into flames as the room goes into black. The couple has no idea what's happening, but everyone else just thinks it's part of the show, and they all follow this grumpy old man as he leads the way into the next room. Stepping through the door, they find themselves in a haunted graveyard, but the moment they're all inside, the door suddenly opens in. Worried, Pete starts trying to get it open, of course, but all of a sudden, one of the ghosts swoops down on top of the old man and brutally twists his body until blood starts pouring out on the sheets. Clearly terrified, everyone starts running for their lives as the ghosts start tearing people apart, but a few of them manage to make it to the room. This time, they find themselves in an ancient mausoleum, but while Pete's looking out, a trio of flesh-eating ghouls start rising up from their graves. Okay, let's just say that Halloween is Halloween, and it's also been avoided just by way people who steal a damn little record from the fruit store. Now look, they should have gone out the front door as soon as the record spontaneously combusted, but now it looks like they'll have to fight their way through the entire maze. They've got about 2 seconds before you start to get alive. It seems like the best strat here is just out of the way and use the other survivors as meat shields until somebody opens the door. They don't have a lot of room to work with, but they can use that tube in the middle as a barrier to create space. And for weapons, they can either use a piece of broken stone to go for the head, or try to knock them off balance and use the walls and floor to finish the job. Now, Keith and Zach already know what to expect around each corner, so that should help them get through the rest of this alive. And from the way the maze looks from the outside, it doesn't look too hard to knock down a wall. So once they're out of this room, they should look for a place that they can force their way out. Then all that's left to do is get back to the record player and play the record in reverse, and freestyle a quick counter spell to close the portal, and that should hopefully turn these things back into harmless drops. Trying to open the door, the monsters start climbing out of their tombs and massacring anyone who can't get away. Even Zach's crush is horrifically ripped apart right in front of them, but there's nothing that they can do besides keep going into the next room. On the other side of the door, they get a quick second to catch their breath, and Zach realizes that the record must have brought these creatures to life. Just then, this girl Brittany takes off running down the hall, but Keith races after her, realizing that she's just gotten into the torture chamber. At first, they can't really see anything, but a flash of electricity lights up the room, and they realize that she's been strapped to the electric chair. All of a sudden, the executioner starts attacking them with his axe, but the couple works together, down with the weapon. It's too late to save the others, so Keith leads them to the next room, where they come to an old shack in the middle of a swamp. Realizing they've just reached the witch, Zach refuses to go any further, but while they're distracted, the only other survivor gets lured into the house. Rushing after her, Keith bursts through the door and chops the creature with an axe, but she disappears in a puff of green smoke and starts attacking them from behind. Fighting back, Nancy grabs the witch's head and forces it into the boiling cauldron, but just when it looks like they escape, the witch comes flying out of her broomstick and snatches the camera out of Zach's hands. Cackling, she flies down the street, massacring anyone who crosses her path, before disappearing into the night sky as the giant ogre from the front entrance starts coming to life. And that brings an end to the last of our 5 tapes. As the credits roll on our Halloween journey, we see a commercial for the new and improved Diet Coke, made with 100% real soda. But something tells me there might be some side effects, so personally, I think I'll stick to candy instead. VHS Halloween. And yeah, man, another solid entry into the franchise, I gotta say. I was actually, apparently, I just found the first movie in the franchise here, which I am going to have to rewatch because it's been such a long time. I know there's people that don't really like it, but I have to this movie for Halloween is pretty legit, and I wonder what they're going to do next. But yeah, if you guys are going to anything different in this video, then thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and check out the How to Beat playlist for more videos just like this one. I'm your boy. We'll see you in the next video. Have a fucking good ass day. You know, being born into the galaxy's most famous warrior culture does sound pretty passed out by his clan, this young predator is on the prowl for more than just trophies. He's fighting for the right to exist. But when the ultimate predator drops in onto a planet full of things that want him dead, he'll learn that survival takes more than strength alone. So grab your cloaking device and hold on to your spine, shield. Today we're breaking down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to survive the death plague in Predator Badlands. The Yautja are a race of spacefaring game hunters whose entire way of life revolves around tagging the biggest and baddest prey in the galaxy. But before they can terrorize jungle commandos or LA's finest, they have to prove themselves by completing their first hunt, cementing their place among their clan, and earning the trademark cloaking device that strikes fear in the hearts of their victims. A young Yautja named Dek is preparing for his first hunt by sparring with his brother Kwai in the caves of their homeworld. Dek has a chip on his shoulder due to his small stature and fights like he's got something to prove. Though his brother encourages him to take a more tactical approach, Dek's inferiority complex gets the best of him. Kwai eventually gets the upper hand, sending his overeager brother tumbling into the depths of the cave, and when Dek finally claws his way back up the cliffside, Kwai tells him that he still has much to learn before he can call himself a full member of the clan. Well, alright, I guess even the Predator can suffer from a Napoleon complex. Now, Dek may be a tad on the short side, but what he lacks in size, he makes up for in sheer ferocity. Still, it seems that Kwai was in no real danger of losing his sparring match at any point. So, what can a small king do to even the odds and take on a bigger opponent? For starters, Dek should try listening to his brother. I mean, Kwai already has his cloaking device, so it's clear he's the more experienced fighter. From the start, he warns Deck that attacking head-on is not a winning strategy. Instead, he should turn his weakness into an advantage by focusing on quickness and evasion. If he can dodge Kwai's attacks for long enough, he might be able to tire him out enough to land one of his own. Kwai also tells him to use his surroundings to his advantage. I mean, this cave is full of spiky rock formations that seem to break fairly easily. Instead of going full-on swashbuckler mode, Deck should try one of his many advanced weapons to sow chaos in the cave. Target a few stalactites on the ceiling and send them crashing down towards his bro while he's distracted. Duck behind another formation to gain a stealthy advantage. A little hide-and-seek could be all it takes to get the drop on his sibling and bring himself one step closer to proving his worth. Of course, some lessons have to be learned the hard way. If Deck is going to earn a place in the clan and the cloaking device that comes with it, he'll have to first put aside his ego. Unfortunately, the real test might be coming a lot sooner than he thinks. Later, on Kwai's ship, Deck finds a childhood toy which Deck recalls chipping a fang on as a child. Having just finished some repairs on his brother's shoulder-mounted plasma cannon, Kwai returns the weapon to Deck and calls him into the ship's cockpit. Now here they cycle through the holographic images showing the locations of all the potential prey Deck can choose for his first hunt. Once he's made his selection, the rules are pretty simple. Start with the trophy and he'll become a full member of his clan. Fail and he'll be exiled for life. Scrolling through the options, Deck settles on an image of Jenna, the Death Planet, which is home to the unkillable Callus, a beast so powerful that even their father is afraid to face it. Kwai urges him to reconsider, but his mind is made up. Their father calls him the weakest member of the family, so he must kill the strongest prey to prove himself. Before Kwai can protest any further, proximity alarms begin to sound. The visitor is Deck and Kwai's father, and he looks pissed. He immediately starts grilling Kwai about why Deck is still alive. Kwai had been tasked with eliminating his smaller, weaker sibling, but didn't have the heart to go through with it. He argues that Deck deserves the chance to prove himself in the hunt. His dad ain't hearing and traps his smaller son in a high-tech restraint. At his father's command, Kwai approaches Deck with his sword drawn to finish the job, but at the last minute he cuts his brother free from the device and triggers the plasma cannon on his shoulders to propel him back inside the ship. Infuriated by his son's insolence, their father attacks Kwai, who uses his remote tablet to seal Deck inside his ship. Deck can only watch in horror as his sibling is slowly worn down by the fearsome leader of the clan. By the time his father activates his cloaking device, the fight is over. With his dying breaths, Kwai triggers the ship's automatic pilot to send his brother to the death planet Jenna, where his trophy awaits. It looks like father-son bonding in Yautja culture is less camping and fishing with pops than outright death